Nick Walker could actually, could he win the Olympia?
No.
I don't believe he will ever be Mr. Olympia.
What do you think about Bob Cicherillo saying you're not going to ever win Mr. Olympia?
Who the fuck is Bob?
I'm the guy that's going to be announcing you in 8th place at the Olympia.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a heated exchange between the mutant Nick Walker and bodybuilding commentator Bob Cicherillo. It all started when Bob, in a Jay Cutler podcast, was asked if Nick Walker could win the Mr. Olympia title. Bob instantly shot it down, saying, "No, I gotta shoot that right though." This stirred up controversy, and later, on Fouad Abiad's podcast, Nick was asked, "What do you think of old Bob Cicherillo saying you're never gonna win Mr. Olympia?" Nick's response? Who the F is Bob? Bob didn't stay quiet. He clapped back with a bold statement. "Let me tell you who the F I am, alright? I'm the guy who's going to be announcing you in 8th place at the Olympia, okay? That's who I am." That was a serious call out. But today, we're not just talking about words. We're putting these two physiques head to head in a post-by-post comparison. This video is based on my personal opinion and experience. You can agree or disagree. Footage or video may be low quality or mismatched. I apologize for this in advance. I respect all the bodybuilders and my viewers, and I respect your opinion. Let's start the video. In the front double biceps pose, if you prefer aesthetics, Bob's shape might be more appealing here. He has a wider structure, a smaller waist, and better quad sweeps, making his frame flow better. However, bodybuilding is not just about aesthetics. It's about mass, conditioning, and muscular detail. And in those aspects, Nick is dominant. His arms are vastly superior in size and separation. His legs are much bigger and more detailed, and his conditioning is on another level. While Bob has better flow, Nick wins in muscularity and detail. First point goes to Nick Walker. Front lat spread. This is Nick's weakest pose, and Bob capitalizes on that. Bob's longer limbs allow him to open up much better, giving him a true V-taper. His waist is tighter, his lats flare out nicely, and his clavicle width helps him achieve a classic front lat spread look. Nick improved in this pose at the New York Pro, but his blockier structure and shorter arms make it difficult for him to achieve a powerful V-taper. This is Bob's best chance to score a point, and he does. Bob wins this pose. In the side chest pose, Nick dominates in thickness and muscular density, particularly in the chest, delts, and arms. His fullness in this pose is hard to match. However, Bob has impressive arms and shoulders himself, and his chest is well-shaped and proportionate. The biggest difference comes in the lower body. Nick's legs are much more conditioned and detailed, while Bob lacks the deep cuts to match Nick's separation. This is one of Nick's signature poses, and he takes it convincingly. Nick Walker wins this pose. In the back double biceps pose, this is where Nick Walker's structure truly shines. His back is much wider, his arms are more developed, and his lower body is vastly superior in detail. Bob does hold his own in the lower lats, and his back is well structured, but he lacks the density and deep striations that Nick displays. Nick's hamstrings and glutes are sharper, adding to his overall dominance in this shot. Nick takes the back double biceps. In the back lat spread, Bob has good lat insertions which help his taper, but Nick once again wins with sheer width, mass, and detail. His traps, rhomboids, and erectors are thicker, giving his back a more powerful appearance. The amount of muscle he carries in his back, combined with his conditioning, makes this another dominant pose for him. Bob looks aesthetic, but Nick's completeness makes this a clear win. And Nick wins again. Next, in the side triceps pose, Nick is very underrated in this pose, and I'd argue it's one of his best. His triceps are massive, deeply separated, and well-defined. His chest looks full and his midsection tightens up in this position, improving his overall look. Bob's triceps are decent, but they lack the same level of density and separation. Adding in Nick's insanely detailed side leg and powerful stance, this pose is another clear win for Nick Walker. Nick's abs are deeply separated with great muscle detail, and his quads are not only massive but also extremely detailed, showing deep cuts. Bob has a tight midsection, but his thighs lack the same level of development and separation. While his abs are well defined, his overall lower body does not match Nick's size and conditioning. Nick's sheer quad size and deeper abs make this a clear victory for him. Nick Walker wins this pose. Most muscular pose. This is a surprising comparison. Bob actually makes Nick look smaller in this pose due to his impressive clavicle width and structure. His shoulders pop, his chest looks full, and he holds the pose well. However, when it comes to overall muscle density, separation, and detail, Nick is simply on another level. His traps, delts, chest, and arms are all incredibly full and conditioned. Bob's structure is great, but Nick's combination of sheer muscle mass and sharpness gives him the edge. Nick wins the most muscular. Bob put up a respectable fight. However, Nick's superior mass, density, and conditioning were simply too much to overcome. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with this breakdown? And what about the beef between Nick and Bob? Was Bob right in his comments, or was Nick justified in firing back? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching and see you next time.